Done talking man, Brad Beck.
A wise old owl sat on an oak. The more he heard, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Wasn't he a wise old bird? Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our most welcome guest. The Wizard of Westwood, John Wooden, used to share this quote about listening with his student athletes when he was the coach of the UCLA Bruins. Wooden, who won 10 NCAA basketball championships in 12 years, was less concerned about winning those championships and more concerned about coaching champions. I'm fortunate because I have been coached by some of the best, my peers and Toastmasters. And I had my Toastmaster championship season this last year when I worked for and received the Distinguished Toastmaster Award. The DTM, the highest award that Toastmasters International awards to a member for completing their communication and leadership requirements. I began my journey on May 1st, 2005, and completed it this past July. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the Toastmasters Award, let me share with you from my perspective what that means. That's over 5 years of yeoman yearning, over 60 months of meticulous memorization, over 260 weeks of working with words, over 1,800 days of deliberate determination, and over 45,000 hours of happy haranguing. That's effective evaluation, that's spontaneous speaking, that's tenacious timekeeping. You think the DTM stands for Distinguished Toastmaster. I say DTM stands for Done Talking Man. I am done talking, man. I've worked my butt off for 5 years. I never have to say another word ever again. Actually, now that I've earned my DTM, I can really focus on listening again. That's right, listening. But just thinking to yourself, Brad, we listen to Toastmasters all the time. We even have rules for that. Evaluation, that's listening. The general evaluator, that's really listening. Yet is that really listening? Are we like that wise old owl? You see, listening has many parts to it. Observation. Do you observe when you listen? Observation has to do with vision, to discover, to perceive, to contemplate or reflect. Do you do any of this when you listen? Listening is almost an art form. We humans, we love to talk. Listening, not so much. I can best illustrate this with the events that are happening currently in the Middle East. There's hope that democratic republics might finally punch through the wall of tyranny. Had those leaders been listening to the people's cries for freedom, perhaps they'd still be in power today. A great reason to be done talking, man. On the other side of the spectrum, I recently read a great article by somebody who's honorable and well-respected, one of our justices of the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas. Justice Thomas has done something unique. Since 2005, Justice Thomas has only spoken in oral arguments, the most public portion of the Supreme Court, 5 times. When asked why Justice Thomas has only participated to that limit, he said the following, and I quote, "If I invite you to argue your case, the least I can do is listen." Justice Thomas listens out of courtesy and respect. A great reason to be done talking, man. My final example comes from our 30th President of the United States, somebody I admire for standing on the foundation of laissez-faire capitalism, and he had a real cool nickname, Silent Cow, Calvin Coolidge. Now, President Coolidge is often maligned for having not the ability to talk to people, but in actuality, he was a great public speaker. And he did something most other presidents, in fact, none other president has ever done. He's given more press conferences to anybody than before him or after him, with the emergence of radio. President Coolidge said the following, I'd like to share it with you, and it applies directly to listening. He said, and I quote, "Nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful people with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, 'Press On,' has solved and will always solve the problems of the human race." End quote. So as the good man suggests, I will press on and rededicate myself to being a better Toastmaster and a better listener. As for being done talking, man, well, to the regret of my wife, that's not going to happen. Yet I would like to challenge each and every one of us to work together to pursue our ability to become better listeners. A wise old owl sat on an oak. The more he heard, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Wasn't he a wise old bird? Madam Toastmaster.